Great. We will call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Election Commissioners for the City of Chicago. Good morning. My name is Maricel Hernandez, and with me is Commissioner William Cressy.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good morning. Commissioner Jonathan Swain will not be with us today. So the next item on the agenda is the consideration of the agenda. Any proposed changes? If not, we'll proceed with the approval of the minutes, and I'll take them all in one. The minutes of the regular board meetings of February 9th, February 23rd, March 9th, and March 30th, 2021. Is there a motion to approve?
Madam Chair, I'd prefer if you'd make the motion.
Okay, I'll make the motion to approve. Is there a second?
I will second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Next item is the Executive Director's Report. Mr. Holliday.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioner Cressy. Yesterday, I met with our cybersecurity expert, Raul Patel, to ensure that we are on track for our cybersecurity grant reimbursement. Also, I attended the State Board of Election Zoom conference on their attempts to consolidate the IVRS process through the state or move to a hybrid format. Currently, our registration totals is 1,615,750 voters, which is 31,457 up from our November totals of 1,500,084,293. So there's been 31,457 increase in registered voters since November. I've been working with our facility consultant, Dean Fatikis, on a list of repairs needed at the warehouse that we will have to present to the city. So at this point, Madam Chair, that's all I have. I believe, Lance, you had something, correct?
Yeah, there are a couple of items that I'd like to let the board members know. Senate Bill 2116 passed the Illinois Senate the other day, expanding civics education for pre-entering citizens to the Illinois Department of Juvenile Justice. It was just passed. Adam, if you could pull that up so we can go over it one more time to talk about some things that may impact on our office. The other items are, well, Betty's on, which is great. John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Day is going to be May 8th, and Betty is doing a lot of things in the city of Chicago. Congratulations, Betty, for that. You've been a great person for doing voter registration. And the other item is, Charles Holliday and I spoke about it. Ranked choice voting is coming back. They're trying to introduce it into the state. New York had a ranked choice voting for the city's mayoral primary. So I think it's something that we need, Charles and I and Adam need to go over it, and Sandra, because this could impact us if it gets legs. Ranked choice voting, it's hard enough to get people to vote now and understand where we're at. Every place where they're doing ranked choice voting, people are saying that there's something wrong. So it's something that we really need to take a look at. So
yeah, I think that that's a great idea, and I think we need to educate the voters as well, including myself, because even I'm confused about it. So.
What we're planning on doing, Madam Chair, is get a paper explaining the pros and cons of ranked choice voting. So hopefully in a couple of weeks, we may have that put together for you.
Yeah. Likewise, Lance. Whatever you find out, please keep me informed. Again, I know the folks on the ABA Standing Committee. We've been talking about this, and there are a couple of different ways of doing ranked choice voting. Just offhand, do you know, does our election equipment allow for it?
Yes, it does.
Okay, thank you.
When we purchased it, we made sure, because at that time ranked choice voting was getting a lot of steam on that. So we made sure that it would work.
I seem to recall that, but I just wanted to confirm. Thank
Yeah.
you, Lance.
Mhm.
Also, Commissioner, I recall that the vendor of our equipment has some jurisdictions where they use ranked choice, so they've got people in their
Right.
staff that are familiar with it.
Well, they use it for the Oscar Best Picture, so who knows? It may be the wave of the future.
It may, or well, a lot of people need to learn more information about it, because it's a lot harder than I think we know. So,
Right.
but that's all I have for my board members. And the office right now. But
Okay.
hopefully Charles and I will sit down with Adam and everybody else, and we'll get that information out.
Great, great. And just going back to the increase in voter registration numbers since the November election, Charles, I'm pleasantly surprised and very happy. Yeah.
Yeah, the interest is out there and is picking up speed, and especially since the vote by mail is picking up, and a lot of individuals like to take part in the process of voting, but still like the idea where they can sit at home, get their ballot, and then mail it back or either bring it in.
And
Right.
it's amazing considering that our online registration system was down for so long prior to the suburban and downstate elections.
Yeah, that's one of the issues that I'll be speaking with the state about, because when the other jurisdictions are having elections, they shut the whole system down. And those who are not having elections, that's portion should still be working. And especially when they want us to complete things that are uploaded there within 5 days. So that's something they have to correct. I'll be getting something together to send to the state board about that issue.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, if there are no further questions, or Commissioner Cressy, you have another question?
No, I'm waiting for the Assistant Executive Director's report.
Yes. It's fair.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioner Cressy. I am working directly with the HR manager on various Q3 and Q4 personnel assessments in preparation for the budget for 2022 staffing needs. I am working directly with the finance manager in her attempts to standardize invoicing practices and procedures. And I'm continuing to work with the executive directors on Q2, 3, 4 projects, as well as planning for the 2022 elections.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I have a question to both the Executive Director, Assistant Executive Director, and Mr. Goff. I note that yesterday the Census Bureau came out with some information with regards to the states, and apparently Illinois is going to be losing one congressperson. I was just wondering, have the three of you decided who that's going to be yet?
No, we're gonna flip a coin later on.
I'll leave it up to our general counsel. He can advise of that.
Of course, it has to be Adam. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Are we losing one, or we're losing all of them all the way down to one? Which one is it?
No, just losing one, unfortunately. I shouldn't say that. Just losing one. But do we expect to get further information from the census over the next few days, weeks, months, years?
Well, it looks like
Sure.
we're still on track for June, but we will reach out to see what else is out there. Any other information.
Charles and I have been talking to people that are working on the census with the state, so hopefully we should get some information from the Speaker of the House.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. If there are no further questions, let's proceed to old business, infrastructure projects and changes in election administration, voting equipment. Mr. Holliday, anything?
Nothing on the voting equipment. It's all, we're preparing to start doing maintenance on it. We at least try to do this twice before the upcoming election. In May, we will start maintenance on our first round of maintenance on the equipment.
Okay. And in terms of electronic poll books, I'll talk about that in new business.
Yes.
And legislation. Mr. Lasker, anything?
Well, thank you, Madam Chair and Mr. Commissioner Cressy. Not any movement on the other bills I've been reporting on from last meeting, but we did have one pop up. We discussed a little internally. Senate Bill 0827 had an amendment to it on April 15th that added quite a substantive, detailed bill for an elected school board in the city of Chicago. It would be sort of phased in with elections, some elected and some appointed still by the mayor at the beginning. And it also is a sort of a test program because the legislation would expire itself. It was either 2030, the year 2030 or 2032, something like that. It would expire itself unless the legislature decided to renew it, but it would call for and create an elected school board in the city of Chicago. The elections would take place along with the current local school council elections that are administered by the school system, not by our agency. And so they would continue to operate in that regard. So not really anything that would then directly affect us in regards to our own election administration, but I just wanted to report on that legislation certainly does affect the city in which we're working. So
Okay, thank
that's
you.
it for today. Thank you.
One question for Council Lasker. Does it still appear that there won't be a omnibus election bill coming through Springfield anytime soon?
The indication from State Board is that they don't think so anytime soon. The session ends at the end of May, at the end of next month. And I forgot to mention that the school bill I just mentioned is set to be read no later than the 30th of this month for the third reading in the Senate, and then have a month to go in the House. But it doesn't look like there's going to be any further changes that we're aware of. But we've been hearing that, and then all of a sudden they drop these, late arrivals in there. So, this was originally a shell bill, and now it's got the elected school board provisions.
And there were other elected school board bills that were out there with the 20-member boards and such. What's the status on those right now?
They, as reported at the last meeting, they were sent back to the Rules Committee, and they are still there as of yesterday.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll proceed now with new business. And on the agenda is a proposed third amendment to the contract with Esns for continued license, maintenance, support, and election services for the board's electronic poll book system. Who can speak to this?
Okay, Madam Chair. So amendment to the contract, it had expired. So we're looking to amend it until May 16th of 2023. And at that time, the life of those e-poll books will be at just about at their end, and we'll look to put out RFI to get new poll books. And Brian Wheatley from ESNS is on the line if he wants to speak to this.
Yes, that would be great, Brian.
Great. Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioner Cressy. Yeah, this is a 2.5-year amendment to the contract. It's covering license fees and hardware fees, as well as locking in days that our ESS, myself and ESS contractors will be available for keeping the poll books up and running, doing LNA on the poll books, and providing site support for the city for the election, the two elections in 2022, the one election in 2023, and potentially a second election in 2023 if a runoff happens. And at that point, then the contract will be expiring. I guess just to note that this contract is about a 6% increase from the original contract, which was signed in 2014. So it's about a 1% increase for every year since that contract has been in place. And I'm more than willing to sit here and answer any questions that you may have. And hopefully I'll be able to answer all your questions.
Yes, Mr. Whiteley, just a question. I appreciate the fact that this contract is going to terminate in May of 2023, so we don't have a lot of excess time included on this. But I'm wondering, I mean, ESNS isn't planning on scrapping all this equipment after that, are they? We're still good, right?
We're still good, yes. Right now, we have a plan in place through 2023 to keep the current electronic poll books up and running. We do have a new poll book that I'm sure Judd Ryan will be presenting to the city at some point, which is an improvement, is a tablet improvement over the Encore 2 tablet or the Toshiba tablet running Encore 2 software. We've worked on new software that I think the city will like because it is a cleaner, faster version of the software and hardware.
And this contract includes any software upgrades and things like that through that time?
Correct. What it would not include is if there are changes to the software, but I do not see, Charles and I've talked, I don't see any changes happening to the software. Unlike in the past 2 years when they added the card activator to the tablets. So there shouldn't be no increases in any of the software at all.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Let's, if there are no further questions, is there a motion to approve the third? I will make the motion to approve the third amendment to the board's contract with ESNS for an additional 28.5 months of licensing, maintenance, and support for the board's electronic poll book system at a total cost of $656,958.43 plus specified daily fees for on-site project management and testing personnel, with a term expiring on May 16th, 2023. Is there a second?
I second Commissioner Cressy.
It's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
And I, Commissioner Hernandez, votes aye. Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is the legal report. Mr. Lasker?
You're muted, Adam.
Sorry about that. I had to pull it back up on the screen. There are two recent court decisions that they sort of just affirm the way that our electoral board has handled these legal matters, but it's always nice to have a fresh published opinion on them. The Illinois Supreme Court has upheld an electoral board decision on dual circulation and has continued to hold that Section 10-4 of the Election Code prohibits the dual circulation of nominating petitions. What we're talking about is that in this case, there's an independent candidate who is running for an office in the village of Riverdale. And so his nomination papers were filed in the later filing period for the April election as compared to the earlier filing period for the February primary. Some of his petition circulators for that later filing period had previously circulated for Democratic candidates in Markham for that February primary. And so there's the dual circulation. There was an objection filed. The Riverdale Electoral Board actually was reversed on this one. I think that the Electoral Board ruled that the signatures were still valid, but the appellate court and now the Supreme Court have disagreed and ruled that Section 10-4 is enforceable. Another case involves, and it's applicable to us, even though it's out of the city of Markham. The Illinois Municipal Code prohibits anyone with a felony conviction from holding a municipal office. The election code then says, since you're not eligible to hold that office, you're not eligible to be a candidate for that office. There is a provision in that law that says if you receive a pardon from the governor, you may now be eligible to hold an office. So Roger Agpawa was the mayor of the city of Markham. He was running for re-election here, but someone filed an objection against him based on his 1999 federal conviction for mail fraud. In his own defense, he argued that he had received a pardon from the governor of Illinois at some point. But what the courts have held now is that the governor of the state of Illinois does not have the authority to pardon a federal crime. He can only pardon felonies that are or crimes that are committed under state law. And this was a federal crime. And therefore, the pardon did not reach far enough to qualify Mr. Agpawa to hold the municipal office. And so he is no longer the mayor of the city of Markham.
Wow.
And that's my legal report for today.
Okay. Thank you. Very interesting.
Thank you.
We'll proceed now with the financial reports. We have a balance sheet and voucher listing for the city of Chicago, a 2021 appropriation 21-02 dated April 27, 2021 in the amount of $172,782.26. I will motion to approve. Is there a second?
Commissioner Cressy seconds.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye. Commissioner Hernandez votes aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Motion passes. We have a second balance sheet and voucher listing for the County of Cook, a 2021 appropriation number 21-02 dated April 27, 2021 in the amount of $5,625,000.50. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved by Commissioner Cressy.
Seconded by Commissioner Hernandez. All those in favor, please state aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Commissioner Hernandez votes aye. Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is public comment. Trish, do we have any public comment?
No, we do not.
Okay. If we do not, then I will proceed with the next item. Mr. Lasker, is there a need for executive session?
I have not received any requests today. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, if not, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn to our next regularly scheduled board meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved by Commissioner Cressy.
I'll second. All those in favor, state aye.
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Commissioner Hernandez votes aye. Thank you, everyone. We are adjourned. Have a wonderful day.